This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Koudelka. In the last episode, we entered into the next little area here, Patrick's quarters, and ran into Roger Bacon, who told us if he succeeded in his ritual, and now he's living forever, but his body can't handle it. Well, there's an irony there somewhere. And we beat the scapegoat boss, so in that fight we got the reflect spell, so we're going to start wanting to cast that. What reflect does is it basically allows, well, like what it says, it reflects the spell, works once. That's at least as far as I'm aware. I might have to double check that. But you shouldn't, if you cast it in battle, you can't cast a buff or heal, otherwise it'll bounce off of it. But we do want to start buffing that up. I'm probably going to have James, because James is basically my buffer or healer character. I'm going to probably have him during battles where I don't record it. I'm probably going to just have him casting that off screen just to bump that up a bit. We also got the automatic pistol. Let me show the thing for that. We'll probably equip that too. Let's take a look at that. Ooh, it's got a lot more ammo holding it this time. Automatic pistol, a new type of pistol, not often seen outside Germany, where it is manufactured for military use. The gun that they based the Han Solo gun off after, or at least that's what it looks like anyway. So let's take a look at the stats there. I think I remember it's a little bit better than the DA pistol. We could, if you want to, you could probably drop the DA pistol at this point, which I'll probably will if we end up, we'll boost up a little our stats. But yeah, off screen I need to, when I level up, I'm gonna have to start. Well, off screen, I guess I'll show you. I'll have to start boosting up James's strength and vitality to kind of make up for, because he is a bit behind on it as opposed to everyone else, where their intelligence stats are pretty high, especially Koudelka. I could probably stop bumping her intelligence, because their stats are probably good for the rest of the game as is. Oh yeah, before we go on, let's read the research notes that we found earlier in the gramophone room. Research notes, September 10th, 1895. Rain. When the monastery renovations completed, I have finally moved in with Ogden and Bessie. Whoops. Sorry. I accidentally pressed the... Oh, come on. There we go. It's been a long road since I first procured the emigre file. Even after referencing literature of all ages, the rendering of the text still remains a difficult task, though it has been 4 years since I first laid eyes on it. Never once has its enigma left the recesses of my mind. Contained in it are countless descriptions of the source of energy that is the secret to life's existence. The Druids' cryptic experiments taken from the ancient Celts and recorded by Alexander the Great hundreds of years before Christ. Branded a forbidden enterprise, it was kept hidden by the Vatican's cardinals in the depths of the Pope's quarters for a very long time, and now I have it in my hands. I have reached Wales, the land referred to in the text. Who knew Wales was the land of milk and honey? No. You have a hard time understanding the folk, let alone being a land of possibilities. I'll fulfill my wife Elaine's resurrection at this monastery, built by Sir St. Daniel Scotus. Of course, I am aware that my act could prove insolent in the eyes of the Lord, and however people may censure my actions, the love I have for my wife will never cease. I ask of you, Lord, to turn your eyes away for a short while. He is always watching, man, even during those times, if you know what I mean. November 16th, 1895, rain. The more I learn about this monastery, the more eerie the structure appears to me. Ogden mentioned that the hospice had been full of corpses at one time a few hundred years ago, and I have become aware of an oppressing sense of mortal sin as I walk through the underground passageways. I can feel haunting spirits everywhere. But according to the emigre files, the power of such resentful spirits are considered the driving force behind reviving the Druids' cryptic experiment. I plan to fill this place with the all-consuming ire of these spirits. Even though I may burn in hell for these sins, if Elaine can be brought back to life, I shall have no regrets. Did you not watch Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist? You know what happens when you bring people back from the dead? Oh wait, this is before that. December 5th, 1985. Rain. I found out that the cauldron hidden in the basement held the key to the secret. Even though the book has mentioned it, the well-positioned trick door kept us from locating its whereabouts. The cauldron looks as if it's been made of gold. But upon closer inspection, the surface is so old that one cannot determine how long it has been in existence. I would guess that it is a prehistoric artifact made a few thousand, or maybe even tens of thousands of years ago and left to sit. We must quickly set up an altar and begin preparations for our ceremony. December 16th, 1895. Rain. I ordered Ogden to acquire some livestock. 320 chickens and 43 pigs were purchased through a supplier in town. I arranged for ground transportation, but the fog did not help expedite the undertaking. I expect to be busy as soon as the delivery arrives. Animal offerings are an integral part of the druid experiment. The cauldron must be filled with the freshest blood and flesh. This is where it begins. February 24th, 1896. Rain. The third experiment. Still no response. Even though I follow directions and offer the proper prayers, there is no signs of the spirits gaining any strength. I must return to the book and reread some parts, since I cannot process if there has been some misunderstanding of the text. Is there a problem with the way I conducted the experiments, or are the offerings insufficient? Regardless, I need to think this over. Even though I may arrive at a terrifying realization, it is too late to fear anything now. I have come too far to be impeded by fear. I am sure Ogden will understand. March 19th, 1896. Rain. Return from London. The specially ordered carriage seems to be working very well. I have trapped 3 women in the baskets and back. I lured some victims out of an alley in the East End, had them sniff some chemicals, and pulled them into the carriage. But since I was not used to my new role as an abductor, it took me more time than I had planned. I could not have done this without Ogden's help, and do feel grateful to him. March 25th, 1896. Rain. I am still at a loss. I cannot make up my mind, even if I can bring Elaine back to life. Are my actions forgivable? I balk when presented with this dilemma. Bessie has been taking care of the women I've kidnapped. It's better than them freezing in some corner of London. I hope this small gesture of kindness will be considered as a priori act of repentance. I wonder if my small kindness will have any significance when held up to the horrendous act I am about to commit. March 31st, 1896. Rain. I must make up my mind. I must make my mind up. I must. April 3rd, 1896. Storm. Dear Lord, I have without a doubt committed a crime no human should have committed. I conducted the druid experiment, using the flesh and blood of the victims. I sensed the incredible energy of the spirits culminate in one when I poured the women's remains into the cauldron. As I had thought before, it is a human flesh that needs to be offered up to fully release the effects of the procedures. What a frightening arcane process this is. The sounds of the fury and the women's death screams have not left my ears. But it must go on. There is no turning back now. April 12th, 1896. Rain. Once again I performed the procedures, and once again found a round up 4 victims from London. Even though they are all old with barely a thing to live for, when I contemplate taking their lives, it leaves me sick to my stomach. And it may be due to my doubts that the spirits did not rise to such powerful strength as before. I may have to use a younger, more vibrant source of energy. The book says to fill the cauldron with energy of haunted spirits. I wonder how many victims of the cauldron must swallow to be satisfied. June 5th, 1896. Rain. I do not have enough victims. The saintly presence of Daniel Scotus inhibits us from claiming authoritative power. I've concluded that it will be necessary for us to offer many more lives before you're finished here. I have since found 35 more victims for 7 separate experiments, but the spirits have not responded with much strength. For me to accomplish the resurrection, I am in dire need of the culminated strength of the spirits. I must come up with a way. I must come up with a more efficient way to procure my victims. July 15th, 1896. Rain. I finally received the first shipment of my victims. Ogden was right when he suggested that we should offer the lord of the slave trade an enormous amount of money for this matter. He has no compassion for human life. The victims are not given much information and arrive at the monastery expecting a routine night's work. It is not necessary for us to go hunting for prey in town. With a few sugar-coated lies, there are plenty of people that climb right into the carriage. There is no one that will dare speak of what is to become of them. September 9th, 1896. Rain. Pour the remains into the cauldron. The energy levels of the cauldron have clearly increased, which makes me happy since it proves that I am heading in the right direction. It seems that lately I have become more efficient at performing the tasks required for the procedures. However, Ogden and I cannot expect to become much more productive, as it is impossible for us to hire help, since we must keep this matter purely clandestine. I have decided to place an order for a laboratory table from an equipment manufacturer in Manchester. It will take about a month to make, but once we receive this, we should be able to manage many more experiments. October 3rd, 1896. Rain. Butchered 3 bodies since morning. After lunch, we made repairs to the bell tower of the main church. After dinner, with Bessie and Ogden, I butchered 3 more bodies. The lab table has proved its worth. The spirits have certainly increased in strength. At this rate, it may finish preparing for Elaine's resurrection before All Saints' Day. October 14th, 1896. Rain. 6 bodies butchered in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 1 after dinner. November 1st, 1896. Rain. How I have been awaiting this day. The day to conduct Elaine's resurrection ceremony has finally arrived. The cauldron is brimming with the remains of my victims. This monastery is now consumed by the energies of the pre-natural spirits. Even a saint could not hold his ground against the powerful energies of the sex spirits. I took Elaine's body, which had been preserved in chemicals for this very day, and placed it on the altar. I then began reciting the ceremonial chant. Elaine, you are still as beautiful as ever. I love you so much. Please forgive me for calling you back from the land of the dead. November 7th, 1896, rain. What's going on? I have lost all hope. All my efforts and dreams have been only an illusion. The tree of life that grew upwards out of the corpse as if wrapping Elaine's body was certainly the manifestation of the druid's cryptic experiments they had been seeking. If God is capable of creating beings out of nothingness, then this is indeed a man-made example of his work. But to my horror, the image of my resurrected wife displayed in a flower petal looked just like she did before, yet it lacked a human soul. Indeed, it was a monster. Dear God, is this the punishment you have chosen for me? What have I accomplished by victimizing nearly 200 innocent people? My only hope in life lay in believing that resurrection was possible and dreaming of the day when my wife Elaine would join me here in life on earth once again. I am nothing but a cauldron full of blood and hexed spirits, and a soulless monster. Is this the end that you've been waiting me? Dear Lord, have you no mercy? I have only one path left to follow. I have lost too much. I cannot even find words to apologize to Ogden, who has lent me his strength along the way. Now I long to sleep in peace with my wife. Man who felt bad about doing it did it anyway and didn't get what he wanted. Surprise, surprise. Well, I don't know if I feel bad for a man who did such things, but I guess do whoever. Anyway, let's take a look around before we leave. Main thing was unlocking the door upstairs. I don't think there's really anything to check in here that I'm aware of. Oops. Yeah. Weird transitions from certain screens to the next.
So this is Elaine.
Yes. She's the one I had the psychic vision of. Do you doubt it?
No, indeed.
Good. Let's begin.
It has been a long time indeed, Mr. O'Flaherty.
Oh, Elaine, is that really you?
Yes, it is. It is such a pity that we meet again, and I can only present myself to you in this form. This is the woman that responded to my voice, is it not? Thank you for doing this for someone like myself.
Elaine, I haven't yet come to terms. Please tell me how this happened to you.
Of course I will explain. James, 18 years ago, I was murdered by some thieves that broke into my home. I was helpless. Both Patrick and Ogden were out on business. There was nothing that anyone could do.
I will not accept this. This should not have happened.
Yes, Patrick responded the same exact way. He could not accept my death. He spent years and years perfecting his craft in wizardry and tried everything in his power to bring me back to life.
Resurrecting the dead? Is this for real? Hey, we're not talking about Frankenstein here.
Frankenstein?
That novel written about 100 years ago?
He was taking it very seriously. And he had found the key to actually make it happen.
The immigrant document.
Yes. With Ogden's assistance and the powers from ancient druids, he held a resurrection ceremony in this monastery.
But something went wrong, didn't it?
He only resurrected my physical body. As you can see, my soul is still doomed to roaming the universe, forever separated from my body. And the terrifying thing is that my body was resurrected as a heartless monster.
Monster.
Although the monster may look like me, it is not me. Mr. O'Flaherty, Please, turn my body into ashes with your power.
Ashes. But if I do that, we won't be able to bring you back to life.
Mr. O'Flaherty, I was robbed of my life by those thieves, and I could hate them as mortal enemies. Choose to think that my death was preordained by the Lord. Please, do not mourn my death. It was wrong for Patrick to try to resurrect me, to undo the work of God. Please, do not be sad. Death is at the heart of God's reasoning. I urge you to destroy my body. Its existence defies the wise providence of heaven. It mustn't exist in this world.
Wait, Elaine! God, curse! What a cruel world! I gave everything for your happiness, and now what have I left with? I have no meaning in my life. Damn it! What have I been doing with my life? Elaine! Elaine!
Well then, back to exploring. No, yeah, so looks like James, he had given up, done everything he can to have Elaine have happiness, and yet she gets killed by some random thugs, you know. It's almost better that like, story-wise, that she was killed by, like, anyway, just fought a black cat there. But I was talking about how I think it's better that she died from, like, random people than, like, some special circumstance, you know, like a creature or something like that, because it just shows the randomness of, well, I don't know if I'd say random, it's just that bad things can happen to good people no matter what you do. So, although I'm surprised the thieves killed her. Usually thieves just want the stuff. They usually don't care about the actual people inside. I guess they might kill them if it, you know, if they get caught or whatever, but I guess it depends on the thief if they're crazy or not. But yeah, it's kind of sad that all James did, like, was kind of like wasted after you know, he finding out she died, and you're like, well, it sucks for you. But really, your life has no other meaning outside of that? Then again, I'm one of those people that doesn't tie it all down to one thing. And this is from a different age, so people have different thoughts about that type of thing. You see a scroll with a picture of a dragon. Above the dragon, it reads Hestia. If you remember correctly, that means hearth. That means hearth in Greek. Man, we're quite intelligent people. I would have had to look that up because I wouldn't have known off the top of my head. I didn't really study Latin, so yeah, you're surprised. You think I would have, but there's a fire burning in the hearth. Okay, well they said something about a hearth, right? So well, let's keep looking around. It looks like there's a door around here. Whoops, I didn't mean to walk back into that. Let's keep looking. See, there's some way off in the background. You can see the bullets picturing on there. Found some shotgun shells. Let's pick it up. I need to start using that again as a weapon just to fill it out, or just start. Even though I've maxed out my, well, actually, I technically haven't maxed out my weapon. You can max out your weapon at level 3, 9999, and apparently there is a difference in damage from like level 3 and level 3, 9999. So I don't know the exact difference, but looks like a scale. You see a scale when you step on it. It points to 45 kilograms. So Koudelka weighs 45 kilograms, huh? Yeah, we're using the metric system, bitch. I guess I'll show this fight. It's a level disc 3 explode and disc 3 armor, because I don't think I've shown the disc 3 version of the explode yet. And then I'm just, I think Megalith is better on the explodes if I remember, but oh yeah, and showed the automatic pistol in action. Well, the armors have a bit more ammo, but I've seen the gun do over 1,000 damage depending on the person. So but yeah, I think in the future I'm going to start buffing up James's strength and oh yeah, that's what the reflex status is. It makes them act like they've been attacked by a spell. which I guess they have technically, but yeah, it shows the reflect on the screen there. You can tell that they're. I mean, the sad thing with a lot of discs. I mean, there are stat and certain other differences between each disc, but you can tell a lot of times it's just a palette swap, you know. So it's almost no. I mean, there's almost no reason for me to show the same fight again, but yeah, I'll just show you at least the color differences. Why not? So, I wonder if I can kill him with this change or not. Probably not. You know the strength, man. No strength. Oh, whoops. Trying not to. I mean, I should boost up his other abilities, but I'm just gonna boost up reflect so that way I can. The higher the spell, I think the higher the reflect spell, if I recall, I can hit multiple people at higher levels. Like if I'm standing together. It might even reflect more spells at higher levels too, like than having to like cast it again. So reflect is actually very useful, especially on certain enemies, depending on your level. If you're at a high level, obviously it doesn't really matter. Your stats will just go through. It's like any RPG. But if you're at low levels, the reflect spell is actually very useful against the Uber boss of the game. Which technically the Uber boss is the only side quest of the game. It's kind of weird that this RPG only has one side quest when you think about it. So, let's see. I think your agility for the most part's at a pretty solid level. After this, it's really just piety and. All right. Anyway, we know Koudelka is 45 grams. Yeah, we're not using the American system of that. No pounds here. Although I mean we are in Wales, so you know it makes sense we wouldn't be. Oh, found Patrick's memo. Sure. Got the memo. I need some bread and eggs, you know, for those human sacrifices I've been making. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a bitch. Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to look at the map. I was actually going to go read for the memo. Patrick's memo. Note written by Patrick monitoring his weight over a period of several weeks. According to it, Patrick weighed more or less 70 kilograms. I wonder. We might have to do some math. Nuts. No. Found some rifle rounds. Oh, actually, what is my rifle round situation? I know I've been using them for quite a while, but they're probably already... Well, yeah, I could hold off and just use a couple rounds before that, but let me just go ahead and grab them. I'll just... Okay, now, can I grab the other thing in the game? Oh, it's on this side. Sorry. Got some D's nuts, or Roman nuts. Alright. Oh, there's an empty hearth here. I wonder. You see a fireplace, but there's no fire burning. You remember the word Hestia is written on the scrolls. Perhaps you should investigate. There's an opening beneath the fireplace containing a ladder that goes underground. Not quite yet. We'll go down here in a second. I just want to see if there's any anything else to examine or get any info from. Let's see. Oh, found an empty bottle. Yes, I will take that. You will need that. Nope. Okay. Nothing else here. Good. Let's go inside. I'm trying to remember. This room, I think you can find or fight jokers, shams, bugs, and pucks or sucks or whatever. I'm just making up stuff. No, I think they're pucks or whatever. Let's see. No, that was in. No, I'm thinking the previous room. Sorry. This room, we can fight the previous room. The room before we entered Patrick's laboratory, you can fight those creatures. In his laboratory, we could fight the inverses. Here, fight inverses, jewels, black cats, noblemans, and shams, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm not going to, like, go through every single thing and just to guess, you know. Oh, fancy panacea. Cur. Need that just in case we get silenced, because silence is Koudelka's, like, death knell. Or basically her I can't do anything ability. The door won't open. It looks like it's been designed to open using a trick mechanism of some sort. Okay. Let's see. Let's get on this. Okay, this is the weight, I believe. You find a scale with a counterweight attached. By adjusting the counterweight, you can change the balance of the scale. 70 kilograms was written on Patrick's memo. Maybe you should adjust the counterweight to that weight. So we are 45 pounds according to the thing as well, if it's correct anyway. I assume it's correct. So we just need to add, if we want to add, make it even, we just need to add 25 kilograms to that. So the counterweight is currently set to 25 kilograms. Okay. Oh, I guess I could show disc 3 inverses. I don't think I showed them because I think disc 2 inverse had a blue head. Now this one has a actually I think the first version, disc 1 version, had the same color. Oh well. And another jewel eye there. Yeah, I don't know why I'm, like I said, there's really not much to him unless they can actually actually show, oh yeah, and this guy's gonna shoot Koudelka because he's a jerk like that. Yeah. Luckily, he doesn't get like 3 or 4 attacks, so. Well, at least, I mean, I guess he could technically. Yeah, the only true enemy to Koudelka is people with guns. Isn't that like us all, folks? When you think about it. Yeah, one shot him. Yeah. Nothing there. Because now that I think about it, I don't think I showed a lot of disc 3 versions of enemies. I mean, I could have in previous episodes. That's the problem. I had to take a break between like the episode before last due to my my recording setup failed, and I had to get a replacement. So. Luckily, the insurance, the warranty I got for it was valid. Actually, it went bad like a week before the insurance wore out, or insurance warranty ran out, so I got pretty lucky there. And it was one of those weird issues that couldn't be fixed normally, because it said the device had device graph fail or whatever. So, yeah, I want to boost up my vitality just a little bit. The rest of it's going to be strength after that. But yeah, it said like device graph failed, and that meant it was basically the machine itself wasn't working anymore, so and it couldn't be fixed. It was, I think it had to do with like a power fluctuation or something like that. But yeah, oh right, should probably heal Koudelka really quick. Let's have James do that to get his level up. Okay. Oh, there's the door. Anyway, yeah, so if we set the counter rate correctly, we can now open the door. So yeah, not too difficult of a boss. Okay. Alright, where are we? Oh, I didn't mean to walk back in there. Alright. Let's look and see what's out. Oh yeah, I guess I could show you the map where we're at. Okay, cool. Okay. I think I can. Let's see, what's this? Nope, nothing. Okay. Climb up here. I don't think there's really anything to check here, if I recall. I think we have to... Yeah, we have to find a way to dispose of Elaine's body. Maybe you'd be able to find something inside the main building. Okay, so yeah, we can't go forward now that we've basically done this all this unlocking everything to get something set up. So now that we found everything we can, now we need to go back to the aforementioned Mr. Bacon and talk to him again, now that we have some new information. Alright. So... I guess I'll see you... Oh, actually, it doesn't really take that long to get... Alright, just found another black cat. After this, I'm going to Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just go back to Bacon's room, so I'll see y'all there. It looks like Roger is still engaged in research. We're gonna bug him.
I know it's here. I saw it here. I put it here. What? Have you come round to see me again?
I want you to look at this.
Research journals.
I want you to tell us whether what's written there can actually happen or not.
Well, let me see. Yes, I see. Oh, that's right. Resurrecting the dead. Ooh, a cauldron. The Branwyn tales, indeed. Yes. It is most likely that the events detailed here did take place.
Just as I thought. But that's so frightening that if
Personally, I have not attempted it. I am certain that the Immigrant document contained accounts of secret rituals conducted to resurrect the dead. But as you can tell from reading this, it involves complicated preparatory work. I had given up discerning the impossibility of using the psychic powers necessary to create such an immense psychic platform. Moreover, I never expected that people would attempt to challenge such a feat.
The journals say that the physical body was resurrected, but not the soul.
Absolutely. The ancients held the secret to life in the palm of their hands. But they could never come close to touching the secrets of the soul. They resurrected the dead in order to use their physical bodies as a workforce, thus building the great civilization we oft-times speak of. In fact, we would not be far off if we called them puppeteers. Exploiting the human body as an object.
if so, then wouldn't
Yes, resurrecting the dead and restoring them to life as it was before death is impossible.
Then how do you return the body once again to Earth?
That is a very complicated question, since it already defies universal logic.
Please.
It is no easy task.
Tell me how. It's what Elaine, God rest her soul, wanted.
Right. It is not absolutely impossible, but I would need to call forth the sacred powers in order to complete such a feat. Oh, yes. I know that the arm of Daniel Scotius, the man who built this monastery, is stored in a stone statue on the ground. If we throw that into a cauldron, we will successfully destroy the roots of the tree of life. Oh, after that, I haven't a clue whether to call forth the energies of fire or entrust the task to water. Oh, it is so complicated.
Fire or water.
What are we going to do?
Oh, Heavenly Father, bless our souls and bring forth an end to this suffering. Oh.
So we need the. So now with the help of Bacon, now we need the arm of Daniel de Fontesquieu. Oh wait, that's a different game. Daniel Scotus and the fire or water. Decisions. Well, we'll have to think about this as we find a way to dispose of Elaine's body. What will it take? What will we run across? Well, find out next time in the next episode of Koudelka. Oh, by the way, I'll start the episode off at the vestry, that room that I couldn't go through because we needed to talk to Bacon. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.